Good Thursday morning, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back to Southwest Arkansas weather here on November the 26th. Going to take a look at today's weather. We're not going to do the 6-day forecast just because we want to focus on the severe weather. When we do these severe weather forecasts from here on out, we're going to do a local area, which is Southwest Arkansas, and then talk about the whole risk area to help people that may not have a way to get information for their chances of severe weather. So first, starting off with today's forecasted highs, temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s across the area. We're not going to warm up much from what we're seeing currently. They're going to be in the upper 50s, around 58 in Mena, down to the lower to mid 60s near El Dorado if we can get there. I do think we're going to struggle to reach 64, but I think it will be possible as we go throughout the day. Rain chances, right now you're not seeing a whole lot, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. Those are going to increase as we go into this afternoon and evening. Actually, we'll see some probably here shortly in the next few minutes, or probably in the next 30 minutes or so, entering far southwest Arkansas and continuing throughout the day. But taking a look at the severe weather outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center, not a whole lot's changed here for us here in southwest Arkansas. There has been an update to the overall severe weather risk, but for us here in Arkansas, not much has changed. Still a slight risk for the Arkadelphia, Delott, Nashville, Murfreesboro, Lake Greason area, Hope, Texarkana, Ashdown, Lake Millwood, El Dorado, Camden, Fordyce, Magnolia, Texarkana. Most of those areas, that's a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That's your yellow colored area, your slight risk. Then outside of that, you have a marginal risk, which is your darker green colored area. That's a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That includes the Mena, DeQueen, Derricks, Mount Ida, Hot Springs, Malvern, Sheridan areas, Umpire areas, and such there as well. Then taking a look at the damaging wind outlook, pretty much mimics the severe weather outlook where that slight risk is at. Damaging wind will be the highest severe weather threat with this. Damaging wind and large hail looks to be the main threats, but we still can't rule out a few tornadoes. We'll get to that here in just a minute. But as you can see, a slight risk or a 15% medium risk for the damaging wind outlook, and outside of that, that 5% lower end damaging wind threat. Large hail is still there, but it's on the lower side of things. It's really across far southern Arkansas and further south. Then we take a look at the tornado outlook. This has changed some. Really, the tornado outlook's been re-refined more for about the DeQueen, Derricks, over to Glenwood, just south of Hot Springs, over to Malvern, to Sheridan and south. That does include the Arkadelphia area there in that green-colored 2% very low-end tornado risk. It's still a risk. It still needs to be monitored. Then further south into about the Ashdown, Hope, Prescott, Camden, El Dorado, Magnolia, Texarkana areas there. You see that 5% brown-colored area where that tornado threat's just a little higher at. Overnight, lows are going to be down into the upper 40s across far northern portions of the coverage area, but most of us are going to see the lower 50s as we go throughout most of the overnight hours tonight there as well. But real quickly, let's take a look at what the overall severe weather risk is. Currently, we do have a special weather statement that we're watching a few strong storms down here across eastern Texas, or the Arklatex region. Few severe storms down here just south of Dallas. But here's the overall severe risk. We're going to start from the bottom, the 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, which is your marginal risk. That's your dark green colored area. That goes for Fort Smith, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, over to Jackson, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana, over to include Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas area, or actually Dallas is right on the line of the slight risk there, but and it also includes southeastern portions of Oklahoma. That's your 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. A little further, you have that yellow-colored area, your 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That includes Shreveport, Monroe, Dallas, Tyler, Texas, Longview, Texarkana, College Station, Galveston, Lake Jackson, Sugar Land, Lake Charles, Alexandria, a few other areas there, Waco, Texas, and that as well. That's your 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. But here, just recently, actually just added for the Houston Metroplex area and the Woodlands, Lufkin, Jasper, Kingwood, Baytown, and the Houston area, a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That's your enhanced risk, your orange-colored area. The reason for this is, as you heard us mention yesterday, the tornado threat's going to be highest across eastern Texas and really southeast Texas, where you're going to see where that instability is going to be probably the highest at. And if we look at this, you see there is this 10% enhanced or 10% hatched area for the potential of tornadoes. This is a 10% area. This is your medium end tornado threat. This hatched area means there's the potential for a few stronger tornadoes, EF2 or higher, inside this area. We mentioned that we were going to watch that, and you can see outside of that wider range of conditions, damaging wind and hail. We'll continue to watch that. Really, this hail threat's going to be really when the storms first kick off, and that'll be what we're watching with to start off with the large hail threat. Then it'll change over to the other threats as well. But real quickly, we're going to bounce over here and show you what the pattern looks like, what's working for and against the severe weather chances here, and we're going to show you that here in just a moment. What you're seeing right now is from the National Weather Service. This is the Mesonet and basically the Mesonet analyst. And what that is basically it shows you what it's currently going on above us, what conditions look like, and what's going on, what we've been showing with the data. What you're looking at right here is the 500 millibar level winds. This is basically what's going on above us in the upper atmosphere right now. This is about 13,000 feet into the atmosphere. This is what you get your low pressure systems, your high pressure systems, your troughs, your ridges, and all of that. Basically, one of the big driving factors in what we get weather-wise. What you see here is a negatively tilted trough, or almost a negatively tilted trough here. Negatively tilted trough is angled from the southeast to the northwest, and you can see here what we're meaning by a trough here is where these lines dip down. That's your trough, and there's a low pressure system over the northwestern portion of Oklahoma, and that's going to continue to bring this flow, mid-level flow here into southwest Arkansas and in across the Texas area. And if we look a little further down at the 850 millibar level, analyst, you can see there's some there as well. That'll increase a little later in your low level jet. But if you look at instability levels right now across Arkansas, there's not very much. But down here as of 10:40 a.m., you have a lot of instability down here. You can see these little areas here. There's already 1,000. I think that's almost 3,000 joules of energy or CAPE of instability down here across far southeastern Texas. That's going to continue to increase just a bit. And if we move forward, you'll probably be able to see that. And that's why that tornado risk is really the highest. One of the reasons why it's the highest is across southeast Texas, where that CAPE or energy is going to be highest at. Now, if we take a look at the HRRR model, this is once again model data. This is what it's showing right now, which if you look back over here at the upper air analyst, it's pretty much doing a pretty good job of showing where that trough is at. If we move this forward, this trough will continue onward throughout the day to move over southwest Arkansas with a low pressure system over southwest Arkansas and move onward and move forward there throughout the day. If we look at the lower levels of the atmosphere, which is 850 millibar level height, you'll see that this shows a increasing low-level jet or low-level winds there, and that'll help with that tornado threat. Once again, across southeast Texas and eastern Texas up into southwest Arkansas later today. That's one of the factors that's really going to help that severe weather threat. One of the factors that'll really help us, or that shear that we need. If you look a little lower down at the instability levels, these are going to be where it's highest at. This is also showing what the current conditions are for instability, a bunch down here in southeast Texas. As we move forward throughout the day, that's going to try to lift north, but if you look up around our area, there's not a whole lot there. But there's going to be just enough to really cause a brief a chance at severe weather. Not a great chance, but there's still a chance here in southwest Arkansas. But really, southeast Texas is probably going to be where you see a lot more of your severe weather chances. If we look at this CAPE and instability, they got around 15,000 joules, or up to 15,000 to 2,000 forecasted joules of CAPE or instability. That's really what you want. That's if you're a storm chaser, that's what you want to see to go storm chase in is higher, that wind energy or that shear and that instability. There's a lot more that goes into that. That's just two of the things that you want to see if you're wanting to see severe weather. But if we go forward, you see we'll get some uh, instability here of up to 600, 500 joules, maybe even a little higher, nearing 1,000. And that'll be what we'll watch across far southern Arkansas, where that 5% risk is at. We still have an overall severe weather threat. It just looks like instability is going to be lacking here in southwest Arkansas. Now, if that changes, that may help increase that severe weather threat. But one thing's for sure, we're going to get heavy rainfall out of this, and we're going to see a decent amount of rainfall. If we take a look at the National Weather Service blend of models and show you, well, this is their instability forecast, and you can see really showing higher levels there across southeast Texas, and really not showing us getting a whole lot there across Arkansas as we go throughout the day. There's still going to be some here. We're still going to see some storms, but the higher severe weather threat is a little further south. And if we move forward, this shows what forecasted rainfall could look like throughout the day, easily seeing 1 to 2 inches of rainfall potentially out of this event on top of what we already had. And that'll maybe lead to some higher chances, maybe even some chances of flash flooding as we go throughout this time frame here. Now, real quickly, I do want to jump back over to the radar and show you what this is showing. Once again, this is current radar as of 10:50 p.m. We do have a few severe storms down here in Texas, and we're going to be watching those closely. They're already severe and strong down here in that area. But if you look a little further north, we do have some showers and storms moving towards us at this current time. Some of these are strong, some of these are severe. We're going to watch these storms closely. These will continue to move northeast into Arkansas and bring us some rain. This also may help limit that severe threat just a touch as we go into this evening and afternoon, because, it may help keep it a little more stable. We're not expecting it to destabilize a whole bunch. If you look at satellite currently, and we'll show you that right now, satellite pretty much shows you the story. Overcast skies over Arkansas, and not seeing a whole lot also down here as well. So instability is going to be a bit of an issue for us. We're still going to get some. I want to mention that. We're still got a chance of severe weather, but it's not a high-end threat. We're going to watch it closely. There's still a tornado threat. There's still a tornado threat for us. It's not as high as what's further south, though. Just remember that. Now, we're going to continue to keep you updated with the newest on this. And real quickly, I do want to show you what Futurecast is showing. This is the HRRR model, newest run of it. Now, once again, remember, this isn't exactly what future radar is going to look like, but it gives us the general idea. We're going to zoom out and show you more of the regional wide look at this. This starts off at 10 a.m., so about an hour ago. And as we move this forward, you're going to expect to see coverage continue to increase. Then really, as we go into this afternoon, by about 2 p.m., you're going to see storms and showers moving into the coverage area a little more. And as you see, it just looks like a bigger cluster of complex of storms. Now, if we get any storms out ahead of that cluster, we'll have to watch those closely. If they can become discrete supercells out here by themselves away from other storms, they'll have a greater tornado threat. But if you look down here across more of southern Texas, southeastern Texas, you can kind of see there's a little cluster down here that may be able to, that's going to be the area to watch later today. We're going to watch our area too, but if you look, really, that low pressure system, we're going to be around that low pressure system, and if we look back as we go throughout the day, expect this afternoon for there to be a bunch of rain, heavy rainfall, and we'll continue to watch these storms closely, as all modes of severe weather will be possible. But once again, look a little further south. You can kind of see conditions just look a little better, a little further south for severe weather. Now, we still have a chance and a risk for severe weather. I'm not saying we don't, but it's not as high as what's further south. We're still going to stay. You still need to stay weather aware throughout this afternoon and evening. We'll be here ready to go live for any storms, and we'll have the live nonstop coverage ready to go in case anything does happen. But as you see, by later today, or by over the overnight hours, that moves out into the Mississippi area, and we'll continue to monitor, or we'll continue to see drier conditions on Friday, maybe some rain on Saturday, and we'll talk more about that come tomorrow. And real quickly here, we're going to go back one last time and look at this severe weather outlook for Southwest Arkansas. So remember, we still have a low-end tornado threat. It still needs to be monitored. Then we have a 15% medium damaging wind threat and a 15% large hail threat that really could go down to a low large hail threat once you look at once you see that severe weather risk. Once again, for large hail, it's really on the lower end. There's just a little bit of Arkansas that's got that 15% medium risk, so that could be really closer to the lower end side of things. And then, of course, that small end or that low end tornado threat that still needs to be monitored. Once again, conditions are still there. There's just enough there for there to be a small tornado threat. Once again, conditions look greater further south. But once again, I've seen these risk zones still have some tornadoes in them as well. We'll continue to monitor conditions as we go throughout the day and continue to keep you updated with the newest. Make sure to check us out over on Facebook, as we do post a lot of just Facebook posts throughout the day, worded posts, such of that nature. We'll have the live nonstop radar coverage up here on YouTube as well, and we'll continue to keep you updated with the newest. Big thanks as always to Palmer's Roofing, J&S Auto Supply, Terry's Place, Fort Smith Therapy, Tan Energy, and Nutrition. Make sure to check them out as well. And as always, have a good rest of your Thursday. See you back here later for some more coverage. Hopefully we don't have to break into any of the coverage or to go live basically go live and talk to you for any storms. But if we do, we will be here ready to track them for you as always. Thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather.